Heading out, still blocking that sun. Now you've met driver Lacey, you've met me, tour guide Jose. How about we meet the master of ceremonies for today's tour? Here he is from The Tonight Show. It's Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guy.
Oh, say.
And the greatest driver.
Lace.
Remember that one? They're the best. I love them. Even though
oh,
they saved me $5. I know you guys have decided to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
That's right, Jimmy. A few safety rules to go. So don't forget during the tour, if you have any type of guest assistance needs, if you drop something of value over the side of the tram, if you have a medical emergency, or if you just have any audio or video issues, reach up above your head and grab that red E-cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram. I'll be back to assist you as soon as it is safe for me to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please remain seated and keep your arms and legs inside the tram at all times. There's no smoking or vaping of any kind during the tour or anywhere within the park for that matter. And be ready, all the tour is going to feature loud noises, fire effects, a whole mess of water effects, so you might get wet. There's also going to be a lot of sudden tram movement to make sure secure your personal items. And finally, please do not use any selfie sticks. Alright, right now we are going down the movie timeline. On either side of the tram, you can see movie posters throughout Universal Studios history. Movies nowadays, I bet you used to looking for Easter eggs in them. I like to think there is an Easter egg on the movie timeline. The poster on the right that Car1 is starting to pass by, that is going to be the only poster on the entire movie timeline that is not a movie poster. Why is it there? Well, it's a poster of Universal Studios mascot, Woody Woodpecker. And if you notice the year above it, 1940, that was the year Woody joined Universal. So, the year above each movie poster, that's going to be the year that movie was released. And going back to Woody Woodpecker, he was created by a man by the name of Walter Lantz. He created other characters for Universal as well, characters like Wally Wallace, Evil Panda, Chili Willy the Penguin Pop. He also did a little bit of directing for Universal. One of his directing gigs was for a live-action movie called The King of Jazz. The King of Jazz filmed on the lot in 1930. It was segments of dance with some sketch comedy scattered all throughout the film. And the segment Walter Lantz directed was an animated sequence. That's why they brought him in for it. And if you're curious, you can find it easily online. Just do an internet search for King of Jazz animated sequence. And again, the rest of the movie was live action, meaning real people like you and me. One of those segments featured a grand piano that was so big, they fit the entire orchestra inside of it. And with how big that was, they had to build in the largest soundstage on the lot at the time, Soundstage 12, which is coming up here on the left-hand side. Here's a look at some of the classic scenes that are filmed in Soundstage 12, including the classic Universal Monsters. Originally built in 1929, not only is it the oldest soundstage on the lot, it is still the largest. So much history in there. The first 20 seasons of The Voice filmed in there, and one of the biggest names in NFL history has filmed in Soundstage 12. Of course, I'm talking about Taylor Swift. Her music video, Me, filmed in there. And look, if you're not a Swiftie, what can I say? Haters gonna hate. Like I said, there's a lot of history in there. If you look on your screens again, you'll see that I paused the clip to show you what an empty soundstage looks like. They're basically giant warehouses where they can build the sets. And coming up, Soundstage 8 has an open elephant door. Keep your eyes on the left. I'll talk about those sound stages in a hot moment here. But these are our immediate left, 9, 10, 11. They've been used for shows like 10, Quantum Leap, Car1's passing the open elephant door now. Soundstage 11 was recently used for season 4 of Hacks. And you got all episodes of season 4 as well as the other 3 seasons. How's it going, crew? Good to see you. All of seasons of Hacks is available on Max. But don't forget, Max, even though it's on Max, it is a Universal Television production. So Soundstage 8 that we just passed by, that soundstage as well as 7, these trailers here on our left, and Soundstage 14, they are in production. So there's 3 stages to order production. There's pre-production, that's everything they do before filming, writing the script, scouting locations, getting the cast together, designing everything, whether it's designing set pieces, costume pieces, props. Post-production is all the work they do after filming, where the actors have gone home and they're just editing to add music, CGI, sound effects. The big beef of everything that happens in the middle, that's when they're in production. So again, this area is in production. It's a work day for them. They're just not actively filming right now. If you're wondering what it is, they're working on season 4 of Bel-Air, the dramatic reboot of the 1990s sitcom Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah, they're working on season 4, but 14 haven't been out for them as well. The first 3 seasons of the show are available on Peacock paid accounts. And if you're a fan of the show, 7 and 8, that's the set for the Banks family mansion. And inside 14, you might see the backside of the Bel-Air Academy gym. Now, coming up on the right, we're going to have some soundstage that have been here since the early 1930s. 16 and 17, they are actively in production for season 3 of Loot. That show stars Maya Rudolph, and you can find it on Apple Plus. But just like Hacks, it is a Universal television production. After these two, you'll see 18 and 19 on the line. They were recently used for The Paper, which is going to be a spin-off of The Office here on Peacock in September. But on the right, part one just passed that sound for Illumination with some minions. And that's all up to no good. Illumination's known for their animated features, but they've also worked with Universal to bring you some of the attractions in the upper lot, like the Secret Life of Pets Off the Leash and Despicable Me Minion Mayhem. Sometimes you can combine live action and animation and get a character like Ted here on the left side of car 1 protecting these bungalows, or something like what's in theaters right now, How to Train Your Dragon. And to tell us about these bungalows, here's some of the cast from the movie.
And they are studio tour. I'm Jared Butler. I'm Mason Davis.
And I'm aka.
You know, these bungalows to your left are actually production offices.
Home to some of Hollywood's biggest filmmakers, including Mark Platt, one of the producers of our new live-action movie, How to Train Your Dragon.
Everyone wave. I'd be there right now.
And if you haven't already, be sure to meet the iconic and beloved Toothless over in the closet.
And see our movie only in theaters now.
In the meantime, here's a sneak peek.
Everything you know about dragons is wrong.
You ready?
How to Train Your Dragon with each in theaters now.
And if you haven't seen the movie yet, why not make a day of it? After you're done with the theme park at 9, check out How to Train Your Dragon at Universal Cinema over in City Walk. I mentioned Mark Platt Productions is in one of these bungalows. They didn't bring you just How to Train Your Dragon. They're also responsible for the Oscar-winning movie musical Wicked. And don't forget, we've got Part 2, Wicked for Good, scheduled to hit theaters in November, just like Part 1 did last year, the Friday before Thanksgiving. As we turn into the metropolitan sets, you'll see that what looks like an office building here on the left is actually part of 2 sound stages. 26 and 25 were built with these offices connecting to them to help productions flow smoother. There's even a writer's office up on the top floor. And if it weren't for those writers, almost no productions would happen anywhere in Hollywood. Inside 26, that poster should give it away. They're working on St. Dennis Medical. If you're a fan of documentary series like The Office or Parks and Rec, St. Dennis Medical should be right up your alley. It's that same style of sitcom, but set in the world of medicine. Now, inside 26 is where they're working on season 2. They film the scenes that take place inside the hospital, the interior scenes. They also do scenes that take place in front of the hospital, and those film on our right side in the metropolitan sets, where productions do exterior city scenes on a great scale. And I literally meant it when I said they film on the right. First, you've got Brownstone Street, the residential area. In front of it, you got Central Park. And then on the backside, you got that red brick facade where you can see the sign for St. Dennis Regional Medical Center. All the scenes in front of the hospital right there. And what looks like a parking lot, that's this road that we're traveling on right now. I mentioned Ted earlier on the tour. They're in post-production for season 2. If you've seen season 1, you know that John and Ted go to school at John Hancock High School. All of the scenes in front of that high school feature here in City Hall. Now here's an example of set dressing. Coming up on the right, you've got this facade with some set dressing on it. You can see how they filmed for Bel-Air over here. But on the left, that's John Hancock High School, the City Hall. Now, we're going to stop here for a moment and get some pictures. And some of you might recognize the City Hall not as John Hancock High School, but more as the Clock Tower from the Back to the Future trilogy. All right, y'all. We don't want the space-time continuum to get all wibbly-wobbly, so Lacey, allons-y. We should leave this area before we anger the Doctor Who might be working on time experiments out here.
Wait, that's real
Sonic
hard?
screwdriver,
How?
Dalek, TARDIS, Cyberman. I'm trying to drop the hint that one of my favorite TV shows, Doctor Who, has filmed in the Metro sets. Not in Courthouse Square, but on the street they were pulling into, New York Street.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got to start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old name. What's that loved over there? My old one. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. I'm walking here! Hey, it's cool guys. It's just, it's just walking. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, we're shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal level.
You're going to notice a majority of the sets all over the lot, not just here in the Metro sets. The majority of them are facades. Facades are the only build what you see on screen, the front and maybe one or two of the sides of the building. As we turn the corner, you can see that if there ever is anything built on the other side of the facade, it's a completely different type of building altogether. You can also see the trailers where the cast and crew hang out for St. Dennis Medical when they're not filming. And as we return the corner, you might have noticed the facade is a bit too thin to have an actual apartment complex or retail space on the inside. It's because there is nothing inside of a facade except for a bunch of 2x4s holding everything up. Some of you might be thinking, Jose, is that safe? 2x4s holding up brick, metal, mortar, concrete, steel. That's movie magic for you. The facades are built with panels of plywood, foam rubber, fiberglass, all molded and painted to look like the real thing. All of these kind of things help give flexibility to the sets all over the lot to be anywhere, anytime. Now the exceptions to the facades, those are called practical sets, which means there are rooms built inside so you can film inside as well as outside. Now I'll do my best to point out the facades as we pass them by. Now as we go in this direction, you can remain focused on the left and see a little bit more of the facades. As cool as that is, I'd be remiss if I didn't point out my favorite thing on the back lot here on the right side. We are passing right in front of the classic Universal Monster mural. One of the exciting things about this wall, this whole mural was all painted by one man and a whole bunch of spray paint cans. This was all done by the talented Tristan Eaton. Took him about 2 weeks to get all of that done. Only 2 weeks, yeah. Now on the left, you can see Soundstage 31 connected to Soundstage 30, where you've got that big red stand for The Voice. Just last month, Team Buble won the season finale in there. And if you are a fan of The Voice, right next door, you've got Soundstages 32 and 33. You can find former voice coach Reba McEntire filming her show Happy's Place. They just started filming season 2 2 weeks ago. In front of these soundstages, you have this beautiful man-made body of water known as Park Lake. The classic Universal Monster that filmed in Soundstage 31 also filmed an introductory scene in Park Lake. And I'll play you the clip with that scene, but before I do, I'm going to let you know we're getting close to the quiet zone. So again, I'm going to be off mic. The clip, the volume will lower down. It's not a volume issue, it's just because of the quiet zone. And I'll be back.
Excuse me. It seems quiet over here. Hello? Help? Shark? Wish I could go this beach, but I have to destroy a shark first. Yeah. Uh-oh. Drenched sharks killing us. No way.
As we exit the quiet zone, let's get to it. Right now we are pulling into Old Mexico, where we're going to do a practical event for you. It's all going to physically happen for us to interact with. There's no CGI here, but this is going to be extreme weather. So I'll go off camera. You can stay focused on the left, and I'll give you the play-by-play on how Universal Studios creates extreme weather as a practical effect. So we're starting with a thunderstorm. We've got rain coming from sprinklers in above us. That lightning effect is relatively easy to create. Lightning is just coming from strobe lights that are scattered all amongst the rooftops here. And of course, whenever you see lightning, you're going to hear thunder. And the thunder is just coming from speakers hidden throughout the set as well. A thunderstorm is pretty crummy weather, but I said extreme, which means flash flood. All of you in car 3, you're at the point of impact. I hope you're wearing ponchos. But all of you in cars 1 and 2, don't worry. That water's coming for you too, dude. I love watching people react like they're allergic to water. You can see the water draining under the bridge here. The way the effect is done is thousands of gallons of recycled water is what's used. It goes under the bridge and back up the top of the hill. The next tram that comes by, the driver is in control. The driver has a button like you would use for a garage door opener, and that button tells a computer when to start that flash flood. Let's take a look at the practical effect in action in a movie called Big Fat Liar.
Big Fat Liar?
You can't outrun the wolf, kid! Yeah, we'll see about that.
And as we turn the corner, we got a nice little treat today. If you keep your eyes on the left, you can see inside the Opera House today. There's a bar in there, stairs leading to the second floor balcony, furniture scattered about. That is a practical set among these facades in 6 points where the Western sets all belong. And here's something you might not have thought of when it comes to Western sets. Whatever production is filming in one, it doesn't have to specifically be set in a Western era. Remember, anywhere, anytime. Let's focus on 6 points as an example. 6 points was used for a modern day setting when they filmed an episode of Castle here with Nathan Fillion and Stan Katic. HBO filmed here for a futuristic sci-fi setting when they did an episode of Westworld here, and even time travel. That's right, Quantum Leap filmed here in 6 points as well as all over the lot. And you have both seasons of that sequel series all available on Peacock for you to catch, as well as the original run. 6 points can even be used as a modern day era trying to look like the Western era, like in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. All of the Lancer TV show scenes in that film filmed right here in 6 points. Back in the 1920s, the silent film era, Westerns standard for Universal Studios. But with the advent of sound in film, Westerns lost popularity for a few decades. But Universal Studios had something to fill in the gap. Those classic Universal monsters. As we turn, you'll see Park Lake on the left. Remember, this is where I played that clip for Creature from the Black Lagoon. Before I go into that, I want to let you know that we're not at the halfway point of the tour. So please don't forget about remaining seating on the tram or pulling that E-cord if you have an emergency or drop something valuable over the side of the tram, or you just can't wait to use the restroom. Now, going back to Creature from the Black Lagoon, here's that clip again. It's very short, so I'm going to get in case you missed it. So again, you got the Gilman, who was the monster in that film. And here he is on land, portrayed by the Ben Chapman, who was one of the last actors to join from the classic Universal monsters. Actors like Lon Chaney Jr., who played the Wolfman, and Lon Chaney, his father, who played Quasimodo in The Hunchback of Notre Dame. All of the classic monsters filmed in the sets known as Little Europe. We're about to go through Little Europe. A lot of you may recognize the sets not necessarily as a bad place filled with monsters, but more as the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't respond to the bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
Coming up on the right, we've got this little alleyway here. If you take a look down there on the back side, on that window, you can see the Brighter Days Inc. logo, which is what came from Ariana Grande from Brighter Days Inc. here. Before we get this one, on the left, you got the railway station from the show. And as much as I love a good place, you know I love those classic monsters. All the way, there's this open area called Court of Miracles. Backside behind that dumpster, you can see the practical set there. It's a mixture of practical sets and facades. Court of Miracles was used in almost all of the classic monster films, like the scene in Frankenstein, when all of the villagers were gathering together to grab their pitchforks and torches to attack Boris Karloff as Frankenstein's misunderstood creature. Bits of Little Europe was also dressed up as Iping England for the Invisible Man. Now, if you've taken the tour in the past, excuse me, you might remember that we used to set you up for Soundstage 50 as if you were going into a hot set, meaning they were actively filming today just on a break. And we told you that this was, the scene was a modern day San Francisco subway. Now, the small issue with that is this attraction opened in the 80s. A 1980s modern day San Francisco subway looks very different from a 2025 modern day San Francisco subway. So just like a movie or a TV show, she got a reboot. So again, this is going to be another practical effect that you're really going to feel this time. So as we enter Soundstage 50, again, please remain seated. But you're also going to see, if you look around, what I mean by modern day. You'll see how everything, even the filming equipment, has been pulled into the 21st century. We got some e-ticket booths scattered around. You see some electric bikes getting a charge. One of the things you won't see here from the 80s are payphones. For all of you youngsters who don't know what a payphone is, ask your parents. After they're done crying, they'll explain it to you. But either way, for right now, you might want to hold on tight because this could be the big one. Are you okay, Lisa?
I'm fine. Sorry.
You just survived Earthquake, the big one. Earthquake, the big one was modeled after a movie that came out in the 70s. Earthquake, much like Amity Island, I believe we're passing by that. Which means we're going to hit my quiet zone again. So quick heads up. When we turn during Amity Island, keep your eyes on the left if you want to see where they're filming. It's going to be the street right now. Otherwise, you can stay focused on the right of Amity Island. But here's Steven Spielberg to tell us about it.
Jaws again? Oh, seriously.
We are at the end of my quiet zone, so as we approach the speech car display, I want to let you know that we are almost finished with the tour. From here, there's only about 10 minutes left, so please don't forget about making seated on the trail, or pull that E-cord if you've got an emergency, or just gotta use that restroom right now.
Oh, los carritos, digo.
The tourist beer. Huh? What happened to the Jurassic Park car? That was the green stripes or yellow stripes. It was destroyed by a T-Rex. Hey, God! Oh! Oh! Yeah!
As promised on the right, you can see that small sneak peek into Halloween Horror Nights. Currently building a maze right in front of the Bates Motel. And as we turn the corner on our left, you can see Universal's scale replica of the Hollywood sign, celebrating Jaws' anniversary. We've got 5 Jaws up here. On the other side of the mountain, that's where the real Hollywood sign is. And you know, if you see Bates Motel, this Echo House isn't very far away. If you take a look at the second floor window on the left, again, front of the house, second floor window on the left, you might still see Norman's mother.
Mother? Psycho? Well, don't worry. When the cycle is killing us, I made from steel.
Going back to Ariana Grande and her short film, Better Days Ahead. The portion of the film that featured the song Supernatural,
Crash landing.
filmed right here in this set, which was originally built for a different studio. This set was built for Paramount Pictures and their film War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise.
Never
So
mind.
whether you're a fan of Ariana Grande or Tom Cruise, we're stopping here so you can get some pictures in. While you take those pictures, I'm going to play a clip of an interview with the War of the Worlds director, Steven Spielberg, and production designer, Rick Carter. Again, we're going to hear for just a moment, so get those pictures in while you can.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
For them to sit down and talk about War of the World, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep listening. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Got them closed?
Huh?
Bobby, get in. Get in.
So again, this original set was built for a sci-fi thriller from Paramount Pictures. The next set we're about to see is from a more recent sci-fi thriller, this time from Universal Studios and Monkey Paw Productions. You are about to see the original Jupiter's Claim set from Jordan Peele's Nope. As we approach it, let's hear more about it from the Oscar-winning writer-director himself.
Movie Mexico a team of filmmakers, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible mission and bring it to life.
What happened?
Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time, Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky G. Park. Over there, look into the Winky Wall. Have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Show. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? What? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not looking so live. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy, Gold Rush Frontier town lies a sinister secret. Welcome to the world of no.
What happened?
No. Who did this?
If you have not seen Nope, here's a little bit of insight to possibly clear up any confusion as to what just happened. Again, the movie's called Nope, N-O-P-E. Jordan Peele chose that title because the letters stand for Not of Planet Earth.
Not of Planet Earth? What the?
Jordan Peele is just one example of the type of director Universal Studios loves working with. Directors who continually push the envelope of filmmaking. Directors like Peter Jackson, the great Alfred Hitchcock, wicked director John M. Chu. But the name most people tend to think of when I bring up directors who push the envelope of filmmaking is Mr. Steven Spielberg.
My entire career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days, there weren't trams, there were buses called the Gray Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. It was my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom. When everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes until I'm sure the bus left, and then I had the entire lot to myself that way. And in those days, movie lots were so crowded because all movies were made on film lots. Today they're made all over the world, on locations, but most of us focused in those days, in the 60s, on the film lots. So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage, and I really felt, in my own young way, I owned the lot.
The argument could be made that the Universal Studios lot is how Steven Spielberg got his start. The same argument could be made for the Universal Studios Hollywood theme park. The studio lot is why the theme park was built, and both of them together have led to the studio tour as you know it today. That being said, this is going to be the end of our tour, and hopefully today's tour has given you a better idea of what the theme park and the studio lot all strive to do. Bring you some of your favorite memories. Whether they're memories of watching a movie or a TV show, memories of seeing where they're made on the tour, or memories of being put in the action, especially in the theme park with the upcoming Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift, a new roller coaster opening in the upper lot early next year. Now when we hit that final stop, be careful of your arms and legs as the studio tour ambassadors open the track gates. Make sure you have all of your personal items with you. You don't want to leave behind any newly bought power-up bands you got today or any cell phones that might have slipped out during earthquake. Once the gates are open, watch your step down from the tram. And then if you have any questions about the tour, questions about the theme park, or questions just about Universal Studios, again, I'm tour guide Jose. I'll be standing by the digital directory. Come on up and I'll do my best to help you out. Other than that, all y'all were fantastic. On behalf of driver Lacey and myself, thank you so much for taking the tour. Enjoy the rest of your day here at Universal Studios Hollywood. And like a certain plumber from Super Nintendo World would say, see you next time. To purchase any of the following products, make sure to check out UPHE.com, which is Universal Pictures Home Entertainment, UPHE.com, or acquire any of our retail shops. And behind the scenes action, make sure to follow Universal Studios Lot on Instagram. Driver Lacey just gave me a sarcastic clap up here. This is why I don't take you anywhere.
Sao con chút